This is Steel Scrolling Designs, and this is mine. So we're going to be talking about the Infinity Scroll, which are these. These are a handful of what I have in inventory, and they're great. Art allegedly asked me which one in this picture is my favorite. I don't know. They're all different, and some of them I've been on, like my kids' birthdays, and which how am I gonna say I like one better than that? I don't know. They're all great. Excuse me. So for man lesson time, I didn't feel like opening a bottle. I think that's a dead horse. But I'm sure a lot of people out there are still using bottle openers to open their beers, which I don't know why. Everything is, as long as you have a hard edge, it doubles as a bottle opener. You can use it like anything. Just like a rock can be a weapon. All right? I don't know why. I'm not going to buy a rock so I own a rock. I just open shit. So we're going to go with this. So this is a wonderful mead made by a local company, a buddy of mine. It's Four Brothers Mead. I recommend it. It's delicious. Now, it's got this wax seal on it. Oh, what are we going to do? Well, we're human beings and we weren't born with big old fangs and claws. So the first tool we ever made was what? Knives. And they're awesome. So you pull out your knife and you take that off. Now we have a cork. Because I imagine all good mead comes in corked bottles and not twist-offs. So we do need a tool for this. A specifically designed tool called a corkscrew. I don't know. I'm going to have to show this because there's people that don't know how to use manual can openers to get their soup or chili out anymore. So we're going to show how this works. There's a couple of different designs. This one's the easiest. You just put it over the damn cork and you twist it. And the coolest thing about this one is, and I'll show you, is as you twist it, the corkscrew raises its hands in praise for the glory that is about to happen. And once it starts screaming hallelujah like that, oh, you're ready to go. You bring those arms down, nice and easy, and boom. Cork's out. And you'll save it for later if you're the kind of person that opens a bottle and doesn't finish it. Pretty simple. All right, there we go. Oh yes. Listen to that. All right, we'll put that there. Skull. Oh yeah. So this oh, that's so good. So that reminds me, before we get into this, I just had a conversation with a good buddy of mine that I've known since '97. His name is Max, Swedish guy. We were in boot camp together, and he had done time. This is a man lesson about a great man. He had done time in the Swedish Navy. He was conscripted because they all had to do their time, which people argue that we should do that or we shouldn't do it. Professional militaries, which are all volunteer militaries, always whip the shit out of conscripted militaries because the people there want to be there. So he went through that, did his service to his nation, did a good job, and then he decided he wanted to join the U.S. Navy and pursue goals there. And he had a wonderful time, and I had the pleasure of becoming his good friend, and I'm honored to it. He taught me a lot of stuff. He was just a few years older than me. I was 21 when I enlisted, and he knew so much more about life and discipline because he'd already done time in the military, and he didn't have a choice about it. He had to do it. And then he volunteered to help our nation out. And he was a recruit division commander, and he made our lives way easier, and he helped a lot of young sailors back in the late 90s get through training and help serve their country. So, Max, brother, as an appreciative American and your friend, thank you very much, and I love you. And he's Norwegian, and I know he wishes he could be sipping some of that meat, but it's so delicious, if you want to call that a sip. All right, so here's these Infinity Scrolls. What's the deal? Well, it's a little different than most. When I was getting into the old-time strongman stuff, which I just did a little bit of, it ended up not being for me. But I love them all. They're fantastic. One of the old feats, going back to the vaudevillian era, was the strongman would have a design. They'd take a big bar and they'd bend it up. There's different examples. The Mighty Atom had a figure 8 in the bar, which was similar to this. Just a big bar bent into a figure 8. This one actually got me thinking. I'll get back to that. Dennis Rogers, he does this pretzel, and the first time I saw it, and he's not a magician, but when it just appeared out of the blue, it was the coolest thing. I felt like a little kid. I was like, oh my gosh, that's the neatest thing in the world. The pretzel. Dennis's scroll. Cool. Slim he took Adam's figure 8 design, and he put 3 loops, so instead of 2 connected with the axe, he put 3 loops inside the border of the bar, which is really complicated. Slim's known for his hammers, but he was also a really good steel bender at the time. The steel heat bending is the best in the world, and he was an amazing steel scroller, which not many people know. Zass had a really cool design. You can go on the Googles and look it up. It's hard to describe. It's 3 loops. And Breitbart, Simeon Breitbart, he had a really beautiful 3-leaf clover. Just super, super cool. Well, through pushing and trying to figure it out, I listened to Slim and the way he thought about it. He talked about it in his video. You draw the design you're trying to achieve on paper, and you think about it, and you practice, and you go with a lighter bar and see how the steel works, and you figure out what's going to work. I wanted it to evolve. I want it to be good, and I want it to be unique. So I was directly influenced from Dennis and Slim, who were influenced by Adam. I didn't know at that time about Dennis's pretzel, which was just, again, if you ever get to see him bend it, I don't know if it's out there on the YouTubes, but it's really cool to watch. But it is on the video he did about steel scrolling if you want to watch it. But I was looking at Adam's figure 8 and Slim's 3 loops in line, all connected. And when we'll put Vena down for a minute. When I was looking at the figure 8, which is this one, I saw a lot of steel that wasn't bent. And we've talked about this in the past. I don't like unbent steel except for the ends. So, I figured we could do something with that. So, I was like, how about I do something really off the rails and throw a twist in the middle. And I practiced with the light bars and I practiced my moves so I could do it in a show. And it was this. And I was pretty happy with that. That looks really good. It shows up nice on a show. You can get that done in about under 2 minutes. Doing really cool moves with it and talking to the crowd or whatever. And it's nice. But me not being a huge performer and not looking to necessarily pursue that route, and also all the shit I was dealing with in my head with life, little things were nagging at me. I didn't like all this unbent steel. Okay? Now, for the show, you're going to have to do it this way so you don't look like a bumbling fucking moron, which we covered in a previous video. You get up there, you make it look good, you show your control. Okay? But for me, when I'm doing my own thing, I want to look at it and be proud of it. There you go. So we'll put that down. So I started to go to 3/8. I ramped it up. I ramped up the size of the bar. I got away from the coat hanger side and turned every single one of these into a full day workout because I needed to earn it. I had to look at it, and then when I was done, I needed to be happy with what I did. So, going back to Nedjali's comment, which one's my best, or the one I like the most, I'm not being an asshole saying I don't know the answer to that. It's a question I can't answer. Every one was earned. And some went better than others. But the ones that went shitty, I'm all the more happy that I finished it and made it still look good. So, just because some of them have bolts in them, because there's too much tension, and some of them don't, and they lined up perfect, well, chance is part of life. I can pray on my fucking knees all goddamn day that the bars are going to fucking work out perfect. It isn't going to. It's not going to. It's going to be what it is. So you have to accept that. And this also applies to other shit in life. Wait a second. Alright. Go get some Four Brothers mead. It's delicious. What does Vanna have to say? Alright, so this is one thing I didn't understand about this design. Oh wait, and here's a cool real old piece from 06. When I was trying to figure out my design, I stumbled across this one. A lot of other strongmen have stumbled across it as well. I've seen this. It's a real pretty design. It just didn't speak to me. It's very cool. It's neat. But yeah, I don't know. It didn't speak to me, and I liked the idea of that twist in it, bringing those two circles together in a twist. And I didn't know why it was a big deal. But I'll get to that here in a second. I kept coming back over and over and over again every year, except for the couple years the few years I was out of the country. And then during that time I was wrestling with a 3/8 by 1 at 20 feet. That took me like 2 years to bend. just beating myself against the bar, trying to find what it needed. But I keep coming back to this. I bend this more than anything. The only thing I do more, when it comes to steel, this is it. This is what I do. And I do, I don't know, a handful a year. Usually in the summertime, because I hate bending steel in the winter. Because it feels like it's harder and everything hurts. So, I kept coming back to it. I'm looking at it. I'm like, why is this a big deal? And it's because it's about more than what it is. And you gotta remember, I'm not a performer. I went the art side. I needed the art outlet to maintain my fucking sanity when I was all fucked up in those years of, when I gotta get out of name, 2002, so like 2 to 7. All I did was bend steel and close grippers and ship blood and bleed all over the fucking place in my basement and drink. I did drink a lot of Yuengling, which is my favorite American beer, by the way, and the oldest brewery. Older than Anheuser-Busch. What's this? It's not even an American beer anymore. Ugh. Hate saying it, but it's true. So, but I couldn't get lost in the sauce. I needed to do something special. And I found an outlet. It is what it is. I think after going through that, a lot of great artists, the good ones, the really good ones, the ones that everybody remembers, which nobody recognizes, which I'm not putting myself in that fucking camp because I'm not. I'm not Van Gogh or Pollock, but those sons of bitches were miserable fucking cunts. They were borderline suicidal and super self-destructive. But they channeled the paint and achieved something special that had never been done before. And it shows in their art. It really does. Talent is fantastic. Talent is special. But you need to be emotionally invested in the things that you want to achieve. And it's a big deal. It's more than the mind. It's more than the work. You've got to have something in your gut to get the shit done you want to achieve. And you probably don't even know what the fuck it is. But if you sit on the couch all fucking day, you'll never find out. Alright? So I kept coming back. And I didn't know why. And then I figured it out. All it is, it's basically the yin-yang thing. Alright, so we'll just grab this one and I'll show it to you. This one, I actually bent this year. Alright? It's life and death. It's masculine and femininity. It's order and chaos. It's the union of man and woman with the bond of marriage, which is right there, the most difficult thing to maintain. That's it. It's exactly what it is. Now, is it? It's just a piece of 3/8 by 1 at 8 feet that I bent the shit out of. But what does it mean? Well, I'm the one that fucking bent it, and I'm telling you what it fucking means. That's what it means. And it helps me. And that's why I love it so much. That's why I keep bending them. Because it helps, I don't know, shine a little light in the darkness for me. So, I love all of you. This horn's almost empty. And now it is. I'm going to finish off my mead and enjoy the rest of my day. And I hope that explains that design, and maybe some young steel bender out there who wants to pursue his own design puts some real good effort into it, man. Put the good effort into it. Either make it really neat or make it mean a lot. And it'll make it good. And if you're not a steel bender, all this shit applies to the rest of your fucking life too. Alright. I love you. Bye.